Welcome back to AI War 2, Scourge Blitzkrieg. If you're new to the game, feel free to check out the links in the description below, some tutorials in there as well. For this particular game, I've gone forward about 10-15 minutes since the last episode. Did a hack down here to grab some concussion tech. I don't need it, but it should help the civilians a bit. And the AI has started to send in some of their threat, which is continuing to increase with some of their waves. So the resistance becoming more significant. I had to use up some of my outguard here in order to defend. Built some more turrets to help out with that. But also, I need to keep preparing for the Tsunami CPA that we're going to be seeing in 15 minutes or so, starting to prime up. And I want to really continue to lean into the civilians. I thought about, what do I want to research here? Turrets, normal game, yes, I'd go with turrets or perhaps force field. I want to invest more in the civilian economy, though. Force fields and citadels will help, like the militia headquarters, the militia protector shipyards, in terms of their health, but they don't actually boost the resource generation and help them produce more protectors, for example. To do that, I need to upgrade logistics, economic, or metal, and I think in the long run, energy is much more important to me than metal. I also think that I'm really going to want to go with the cheapest option, which is also going to be here for logistical. So I'm going to knock that in. And that boosts it by 500k. So I've got quite a bit more energy here. One other building that I wasn't even aware of before, I probably wouldn't have built them anyway, but on your own planets, you can build one more civilian structure. The militia barracks. And somebody had mentioned this in the comments and I hadn't seen it, so I wanted to really get back to this. We have a focal point for local defensive forces for the region, boost turret and ship capacity. And it'll increase it more if you have a higher mark level for something, but it's for this planet and any adjacent to it. I can't build these in neutral territory, I can only build them on my own planets. So I'm thinking I definitely am going to want one down here eventually, but 5 million metal and 200k energy is not the smallest thing. We do have all of our buildings down here, the militia HQ and the protector shipyards, but up here in Solitz, we are not doing as well yet. We are still building the militia HQ. We haven't started the protectors. We've got a lot of ships in here from the adjacent systems, but I want to continue to build up this. Meanwhile, I'm moving the one support fleet up here because my other one needs to go with me. I need to push into here. There's a couple of significant Scourge structures up here I want to knock out, and also grab this data center to lower my AI progress. So I'm kind of really trying to continue to balance multiple things at a time. So we're going to get in here to down, and you are going to hang out by this entry point. I really need to clear the way so you don't get crippled as soon as we enter. You can see the strength here, 261. So there's a lot in here, and we've really got to be smart about this fight. Let's go and knock out this Plasma Guardian first. There we go, and we're getting rid of the turrets nearby. Let's knock out this Pike Guard post. And basically, I want to clear the entry point here as much as I can. There's a Warbird frigate. Let's make you go. We got a spider that we got rid of there. Want to absorb as much as I can. What are you? Assault frigate? I'm not too worried about you. Okay, we've triggered all of this stuff down here. I think at this point, I probably want to go after these guard posts. Let's just knock them out quickly. And you? Then back up to what's essentially the entrance point. Another assault frigate. I'm not seeing a bunch of warbirds. Oh, there's another one. Okay. Now I'm going to try bringing in our support fleet. And the reason I want it in here is over here in Solitz, you know, a lot of the metal is being spent here, building that militia HQ. That's not where I want it. I want it rebuilding my fleet so we can win this fight. So let's see about this. Looks like we're doing pretty well. I can move up further into the system. And you're doing fine. There we go. Now we're rebuilding away. What's our strength? Yeah, we're gradually increasing our ship count. That's a good sign. So let's... I think I want to go over this way. Because if they're going to try to escape, it's going to be at this wormhole. There's no other choice. Other than coming down here, and my civilians will knock them out there. So I want to block this off. And you see Mark IV, even occasional Mark V Scourge in here. So they're not quite as wimpy as they were before. And of course, more coming in from the adjacent system, which does not help. But a big part of our point here is to get rid of all that source. Okay, now that we've secured that wormhole, I want to gradually move through the system. Let's definitely make that Mark IV armory go away. And now we're starting to get a counterattack warning, but that won't be a problem. They're actually heading down here towards Solitz, which I think is hilarious. Yeah, we're almost up to full strength with our fleet. This battle's definitely going to go our way. I just want to make sure, and see, there we go, more stuff coming in, including Mark V Scourge Warriors. Yuck. Let's see, there's another guard post here. And particularly with a troop accelerator in a Mark V system, it's probably in our best interest just to eliminate everything and just take a little bit of time, if necessary, to do that. There we go. And they don't have much left. Let's get back over here to this wormhole. I think I'm going to want to just hang out with my support fleet over in this direction. And have them be ready for our next barrel of fun. I think we're about ready for it. Let's dive into the next system. So there was 260 strength in here. How much is waiting for us next door? 135. Not nearly as much. But look at that. Over 200 Mark V Scourge Warriors. That's about 10 strength by itself. 6 Evoc Mark IV, 16 Ninzel Mark IV. So you can see they're getting stronger and stronger. And a Mark IV Scourge Armory. Which actually, I think, is about to hit. Yeah. It's ready to be boosted up again. So it's almost ready to hit Mark V. And so we definitely want to get rid of all of those Scourge abilities upgrade. We've got Force Field Guard Posts. Okay, a Force Field Guardian, that's not too bad. Dire Shredder Guardian, that is pretty bad. So we're going to head straight for that immediately with our primary raid fleet. It's headed our way, which is good. That means it's not hiding underneath a force field. Very much like to get rid of all that enemy DPS in the system. There we go. And now all of a sudden we have the upper hand. So we're going to hit this data center. We're going to hit the Scourge Armory. There we go. And let's see about this wormhole over here, which has lots of activity. I'm going to want to take down everything in here, but first of all, looks like a lot of their enemy ships are fleeing through that wormhole. They're definitely trying to. And of course, more Scourge going to come through that way. Let's just not let that happen. Okay, so after we clean up, while we're here, I'm definitely going to want to hack this. Now, objectively, I mean, there's a couple decent lines here. We're up to Mark IV for the Raptors. Might possibly get higher later, but, I mean, obviously they're a very nice ship. And we would like their speed with our raid fleet. But I've never had them before, and they're a Mark VII ship. So just for that purpose, I'm going to get the Apparition frigates. And you could argue with them, but they're more of a... First of all, they're an ambush ship. If they've been here for less than 12 seconds, they get the 3 times damage. They're able to have the fusion ability to bypass shields, and they're cloaked. So the defensive bonus here, anything more than 4,400 away does virtually no damage. And also the attack bonus, healthy targets will get extra damage. I'm not a huge fan of these because it's harder to actually eliminate ships. It's just more of a whittling them down for something else to destroy them. But, again, it's something new that we haven't had before and is maxed out in one of our tech fields. So we're going to get that. And I think I want to invest in this point in as much outguard as I can get so that we're going to be more prepared for the CPA. I'm waiting a bit to finish building the protector shipyards up here in Solitz. But in Murdoch, there's something very interesting going on. The civilians have decided to raid in here, and they're warping in a Scourge armory. But that's no more now. So I'm actually getting them to interdict the Scourge a little bit. Any, concentrations that are large, they're not sending in enough force to really do much. But I'll take whatever help I can get. We are all set up now in Solitz. Protector Shipyards is finished. And I now can spare the support fleets to help out with this outguard hack that I want to do in Sagittarius. About 4 minutes left until we hit that 2-hour mark. So if we get everybody out and fighting, we have a couple of Scourge fortresses in here. One of them is there, so I want to go after that.
Taking fire behind enemy lines.
This is a Thoraxian structure. Oh, there's another one decloaking. That's Evok. Boom. Let's see if we can cut off all of this that is trying to escape, or at least some part of it. Looks like a lot of it is going to get out. We did get some of it, though. Got a couple of those frigates before they escaped, which is nice. And I also think I want to move here in the middle with my supports and get a trade post rolling. This would be a very nice system to cut off. We have plenty of everything that we need to do that. It's been a while since we built a new trade post for the civilians. Okay, now let's head on down this way. And hopefully we'll get this built reasonably quickly so that we can be in our hack. I am also in the system towards the bottom of the map. I'm working on building a militia barracks. I had the metal, so I figured why not start that process. And let's get this outguard rolling. Be able to double our outguard from 2 to 4 different types if we are successful here. They are spawning another raid. I don't particularly care. I think the civilians can fend for themselves at this point, based on what I've seen off of those. No problems yet, but of course, the real problem with outguard hacks always comes at the end. I'm curious how well we're going to do on this without turrets. We are getting some help from the civilians. Not a lot, but enough probably to make a minor difference.
Taking fire on enemy walls.
Another irrelevant wave. We will easily defeat that. Lots of raptors getting spawned out of this particular beacon. Looks like they're spawning about 20 strength at a time, and we've got 150, so that is no concern at all. Over 2 hours now.
Enemy contact. Planetary defenses responded.
Looks like they're attacking a couple different systems. Probably got a bit of... interesting. They're all sentinels. So they're regular threat fleet that has not become hunter yet. How's that fight doing?
All they can.
Well, they're pounding us pretty good back here, but... I mean, we have turrets and everything up in here. Let's just make sure we move. Let's move you down in here. The Sagravic Citadel is doing its job. Yeah, we're going to be fine here. They're knocking down the shield some, but they're not going to win this. Okay. Back to what we were doing. Look, we just finished the hack. So what next? Well, with a trade post up in here, I would like to try to push down this arm. Because we should have it cut off permanently if this trade post holds. And so this would be a little additional section that the Scourge will not have access to. Other few outposts around that we could go after. We could go after more outguard down here. There are many other things we could do. We don't have a lot of time. I'd like to hang out in this general area for whenever that CPA decides to show its face. So, let's do this. Let's just keep right on moving. And I'll keep my support fleets in here for now. Just to ensure that hopefully this can build up just fine.
Taking fire in enemy territory.
And we have a Burles Fortress, and a Scourge Armory, and a Ninezul Fortress. Lots of fun customers. All the more reason to come in here and get rid of it all. Took a bit of a hit to our fleet, not much. And I think we're going to be successful here. And here come our friends, the civilians. Okay, this is pretty much wrapped. Now back in Sagittarius. They have Praetorians in here. You know what? I think I will send back our long-range fleet then. At least for now. And then I will bring the one support fleet in here, but leave the other one behind. Because at least this will give us one fleet in here to clean up this mess. Okay. So then you can come out this way, and let's get ready by this wormhole to go down further. And what do we have in here? We have some more fortresses. And they've got a builder that we will want to dispose of as well. These are not hugely wimpy, you know. 84k DPS, million shields, million health. Let's definitely clear out all of these miscellaneous items and that builder. Let's make sure that goes away. Very nice. Let's come down here, take another look back up. We are fine. They have brought some more ships in. Let's see if we can get away with coming down here with that fleet yet. What happens if I do that? Still no CPA. And I'm not seeing them run in here too much. I think maybe we've built up enough that, particularly leaving our battle station in, that we might be okay. Alright, so Thusi could be a whole nother ball of wax. This is a Mark V system. I like the GCA though. This is nice. I mean, I don't want to take this yet, but I definitely want to clear it out so I can take it later on. In here, I could potentially see mini pods or snipers. I'm not sure. I might want to get the snipers. Mark IV. I could go either way. Mini pods are nice as well. I think I'm going to go with the mini pods on this one, even though the snipers are 1 mark level higher. But, first of all, we need to knock out Thusi.
Absolutely.
And 162. This will be no pushover. We got Mark 4 Armory, some Evok Warriors, a bunch of Pike Guard Posts, and a Dire MLRS. Well, those aren't that bad. Let's go after that first anyway. And let's get you out of the fight. See, let's just come down to this area and move you out of the fight as well. We should be able to wear these down, I would expect. Is our fleet doing its job, is the other question. Yep, it is. We're just losing our ships fairly quickly because it's not total pushover resistance in here. Wouldn't mind making these turrets go away, especially since they're Mark 5 death grips. Let's see, let's head off that way. Let's just clear this out one bit at a time. We are still gradually losing ships, which I'm not a huge fan of. But we're almost even with them, total strength. Make that armory go away. We haven't run into a lot of spawners, but we have run into a lot of armories, which means we should be really slowing down their upgrading, but not necessarily their numbers. Large numbers of weak ships, however, do not concern me, and we're just about finished in here. So I think after I wrap this up, I want to keep hopping around the galaxy playing whack-a-mole until the CPA actually decides to show up. Well, it's CPA time. I did have to send the fleet back up to Solitz because they had come back in there, but everything is pretty secure now. We're heading back, diverting the fleets as the CPA is about to arrive. I was a lot more successful than I thought I would be in terms of getting more done. I set up some trading posts throughout this area, so now we have smooth, connections everywhere throughout the entire network. And of course, that'll just boost the civilian economy. I also knocked out, in here, they had a Mark 6 armory and a Mark 6 builder. But they didn't have any other Scourge ships. They were kind of stuck in there forever, and now they're gone. Even lowered down the threat a bit. So all of that worked very well. And it's time to now unleash the Tsunami CPA and see what happened. I'm just trying to guard my main choke areas up here, down here with the fleet, and most likely it'll just discourage them from hitting those areas. We'll see. Okay, 370 strength, almost 5,000 ships. Mark 3, Mark 4, Mark 5 appears to be the heart of it, while we are sitting at Mark 2. And we're going to have, here it comes, a wave in tracking. Let's take a look at that. Unless I get in trouble, we'll just get this moving at a decent clip. There we go. So that's been eliminated. And Solitz is getting some. CPA is trying to get to my planet and can't, so they're coming in there.
Enemy ships on our planet.
Farflung is here. And so they're hitting at a number of different planets.
Hostile ships detected on home planet.
But okay, now we're starting to get some significant strength in here. This appears to be the biggest one. But we still far outnumber them. So I don't feel the need to react at all. And, okay, the civilians are going away. There's not that much strength anywhere, so they're just moving around. They are hitting our homeworld, but not with enough to be concerned about. Ripcord. You're doing fine. And most of it has burned itself out. So, a lot of firepower, but it was not remotely enough to challenge us.
All turrets open fire.
And, well, there's more coming in here yet, so let's just hold the phone. Yeah, now threat's down to about where it was. Okay. So we're going to hold off here. I really think at this point, this game is strategically won, and we will get back to continuing it eventually. But from here, I think I just want to set the stage to go in to the homeworld, because I think we can just hold them off at these choke points. Do a bit of a run in here every once in a while, a bit of a run in here. I do want to try to cut them off more this way, get that Spire archive. But the main thing I want to do first is I want to get all the outguard that I can reach, and then knock out the coprocessors to knock down AI progress some. This is going to be a big target out here to get that strike craft. IGC, I'm not going to bother with the MDCs. They're both just in bad situations. But lowering down that AI progress some, and then I just need to close in. And my goal, I'm not sure if I'll achieve it, but I think I've got a pretty good shot at it, is to win the game before the second CPA. So before, say, the 4.5 hour mark. We'll see how that goes. Till then, thanks for watching, everybody. Scourge Blitzkrieg will continue.